Maxime, first of all, congratulations. What a clutch performance when you needed it the most. Sum up your emotions right now after such an important victory.
Yeah, it was a crucial game, and my coach gave me this idea of, going for a very slow game, very much like the Italian games that Alireza had with Ding, but with Rui Lopez, which means Black went committed with b5, which changes.
And to also surprise him perhaps a little.
Yeah, that was the idea. And it worked because up till here I was in my preparation, and I'm pretty sure I also looked at b7, but couldn't remember the details.
Did you feel like he was still in his preparation, or he knew exactly what he's doing? Or
I think he was trying to remember, to be honest. Like, I know this was a theme, and suddenly you give up a pawn, but you get huge compensation. I didn't even look at what was happening after, say, bishop h3, but over the board I thought rook g1, queen h5, any move actually. So rightly, rook b7 was interesting. I just thought, even if he hasn't castled, it's not such a bad thing for me, because this knight on e3, is extremely important. Can always jump to f5. And block out the counterplay. G4 came as a surprise because simply, it's not only queen e1. Queen e1 is good.
And at this point, he was also starting to burn a lot of time.
Yeah. I was not sure about this position though. f5 and okay. You actually don't need to have bishop h4, which is interesting. But that's why I thought queen e1 is good. This I thought was essential to get some counterplay. Bishop h2 and g3. Take. I wasn't sure if I should go like this.
That's a wild variation.
Yeah.
Can he go h3 at any point? Or
queen g3. Queen g3, yeah. So that's why.
He has to get a queen first.
Okay, here bishop d1 is strong, and if queen h6, just knight d5 and bishop e3. And I was looking...
Just to interrupt you for 1 second, this one finally finished in a draw, and you're looking now at your 2024 Sinquefield Cup champion, as it happens in real time. Congratulations to Alireza. Any thoughts and words of encouragement for the young
happy for my countryman,
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And Ali had, let's say, a difficult year, and with also the candidates where he, for the second time didn't perform as well, but he's proving that, with the right attitude and, this will to take risks in every game, can also bring some dividends, and I'm looking forward to him replacing me on that very chair in a few minutes.
Probably in the playing hall later today. But you mentioned the candidates, talk about this extra pressure. You play the candidates as well. How does that pressure feel in the heat of the battle?
Oh, it's, of course, huge. Also, the circumstances of my qualification meant it was different. First half, it was so wild. So I qualified through Temur Rajabov pulling out basically the last seconds. So I had 2 weeks to prepare. So, when you have 2 weeks to prepare for such an event, you have no time to feel the pressure.
You don't get the build-up.
You don't get the build-up. So it was maybe a blessing in disguise. And then, of course, interruption, second half, it's just...
But for him, it seems like he's a completely different player after the finish of the candidates.
I wouldn't say so, because he was taking a lot of risk in the candidates as well, and sometimes it comes down to a bit of luck. Here, Ali clearly had this share of luck, I would say, against Fabi, against me, against some other players. I remember he was also in trouble. So, of course, then and he had this share of bad luck in the candidates. So overall, you could easily have the results from the Sinquefield Cup versus the results of the candidates completely reversed for him. So that's because he's taking so much risk that his game is high variance.
Let's get back to your game.
Yeah.
It's such an important game as well. Tell us a bit when you felt the imbalance is finally created.
Yeah, for some reason I didn't like knight d5, but I struggled to understand why. I think I was considering this. But here, these positions I was not so sure about, like a4, knight c7. Okay, this is pretty good.
Very concrete, right?
Yeah. I thought dc4 was very good, but seems like I misunderstood something. Okay, first of all, knight h4. Yeah, I thought this was very good for me, but hard
and
to...
I think you were partially right, at least.
Yeah, because knight f4, I thought even rook takes, which is not forced.
Yes.
Okay.
At least from a practical perspective, this looks very dangerous.
And this position, you assumed you had to take on h4. Like, this looks huge for me. Like, it doesn't look so huge at first, but actually the knight on g6 is kind of stuck. The queen is stuck because of always queen f6 check, and it just proved in the game, like, I didn't know how much winning I was. Well, computer, like, is very happy.
Yeah, you never let him back in the game.
Actually, I could take first, like, not allow any counterplay. This is bad, but
it's good enough.
No, I calculated that I always have queen a8 and then pawn pushes. Yeah.
Maxime, you mentioned the technical analysis that your coach helped you with. Did he give you any practical feedback as well? Obviously, you were coming on a 24-game draw.
25.
25. On the 26th.
Okay, here at least I knew what I had to do, and like basically a draw was almost like a loss. So, although not completely, because if Kukesh won his game, like I had to have a minimal safety net, but I knew what I had to do. I knew also things form is like better, but still shaky. And I have tremendous respect for him and for his play. But hopefully he can get his shape back before the match, because that would mean a very, very interesting match with Kukesh, playing not only very solid, but very, very accurate chess in general. So, but anyway, I knew I needed to try to exploit any weakness, and that's what I managed to do.
Well, congratulations on this game, and also on the consistency that you've been displaying in the Grand Chess Tour. Once again, qualifying for next year's Grand Chess Tour. Congratulations.
Not yet,
Maxime. Well, in case, right. We don't want to jinx it. There's still one more game, but Wesley right now.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take a look at that.
Let's look at it. Yes, why not? It's looking good for you. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but like you never know with this position. I was surprised. Why not Queen f5? Okay, Queen f5. It's still pretty safe, but of course with the bishop on a3, you want to be somewhat careful.
He is a pawn up down.
But
that should help a little.
Not too much time on the clock. Like you never know. Like it's probably less than 5% that Wesley wins, but the possibility exists.
Thank you very much for joining us, Maxime.
Yeah.
Guys, back to you.
Congratulations to Maxime. Absolutely.